Hi everyone, and welcome to Defining Consciousness course. And in this session, we are continuing discussing the greatness of our soul. I believe that we are in times that maybe we find ourselves with questioning of what is our value and what is our worth and what we really bring into our life, into our family life, into the world, who we are. And the purpose of this study is one, to identify our highest form of qualities as an extension to the Creator, including all the advantage and the responsibility of these qualities. And second is to receive ideas and tools to manifest our greatness and really connect to our real qualities in a way that will contribute to our immediate environment into the world. Okay, so this will support us in our journey of the soul, empowering us to climb in the ladder from one step to another. And I've seen today a beautiful post on Facebook that says, it's a quote of this phrase, and it says, "We cannot become who we want by remaining who we are." And I loved it, and it gave me an inspiration for this class of this session today, because as we climb in one step to the next step, you know, we rising above, and every time we moving from one level to another, we realize and identifying the greatness of our soul. And actually the best to describe it is with the concept of the four phases. And I wanted to remind ourselves what are the four phases, and I want to give some examples so we'll see. Because the first phase connects us to the essence of our soul and desire. Okay, so we have to understand that the desire in the first phase is not real. In this stage, or in this phase, the desire is like me versus the Creator. And the desire of the Creator is to share. But ours is not real. It's not a real desire. Even though we want to be like the Creator. For example, when we talk about relationship, it's like someone is waking up in the morning and he is not thinking about anything about relationship. We're walking in the street, we see in a coffee shop, we enter in the coffee shop, we order in a cup of coffee, and it's like I didn't wake up with a desire to find someone or desire on anything about the relationship in this morning. Another example of this stage is a child that he is playing with his Lego or with his dolls or cars. And the child is playing, and the father brings him a piece of chocolate to taste for the first time in his life. Okay, so this is the first phase. The second phase is the awakening of the soul. There's a shift that is happening here, and you sit in the coffee shop, and this guy is coming to you, complimenting you, and asking for your phone number, or so something is awakening, right? Some sort of desire starts to awaken, because I haven't thought about it. And wow, oh, he came to ask me for my phone number. Okay. Even the child, since now I've tasted the chocolate, I'm thinking maybe I should take another bite. Okay, so something is awakening. In the third phase, the doubts are starting to come up. The questioning: should I taste the chocolate or I shouldn't taste the chocolate? Is it fattening? Is it not fattening? Is it healthy for me? Is it not healthy for me? To give my phone number, not to give my phone number? To take another bite or not to take another bite? Okay, so this is the doubt phase. The fourth phase is a decision making that leads us to an action. Okay, so I will take the bite, and the action is I will continue eating the chocolate. I will give my phone number. It will bring us into the next step of action. So this in a brief about the 4 phases. But why we are not there connecting to our greatness? Why? The idea is to grow through the process that our inner and external light will be equal. Okay, each other of us, so that we will connect, be in content and be in peace. Okay, so this is the process. Before we continue, I want you to close your eyes for a second, just for a second. And knowing who you are today, seeing who you are today, while you understand that you are a soul that connects to the endless light, please visual this connection with the light. Imagine your greatness. You see it, you know what you wear, you know the environment that's surrounding you. You see yourself communicating with others. You even see what you wear, okay? What perfume you wear. Can you see yourself? Can you see your greatness? You can open your eyes. One of the things that coming up for us is that we need to enjoy life. No worries about the past and no worries about the future. And I want to try another thing with you. Something that I'm trying obviously in a physical class, but I'm going to try it with you for the first time. I'm not sure if you're next to a mirror, but I'm sure that most of you are next to your phone. So if you can pick up your phone and press on the camera on the selfie option, so you can see yourself. So look at yourself, look at the reflection of yourself and your image through the camera, okay? Can you share with yourself what are the qualities of the person that you see? What type of achievement the person achieved in his life? What are the abilities? Look at yourself, try to count. Say to yourself what you have achieved as you're looking at this person. What are your abilities? What you have gained in life? You know, whenever I've done this exercise, and I'm sorry I cannot hear you. I hope that you can share that with me later. But every time I've done this exercise, it seems that it's really difficult for us to connect to our attributes. You know, it's much easier for us to see what we have done wrong, what we could have done. But you know why it's difficult for us to connect to our attributes? Because we never stop and look at ourselves from the side and really connect to our internal light. We often, and it's much easier to connect to the external light, to connect to the environment that's surrounding us, to the pressure of the environment on us. And everyone is so busy with the external light. And it's much easier for us to see the greatness of someone else, to see the achievement of someone else, and to influence of the other person on the world, in his life, on his family life. We can definitely see the external light of someone else and maybe sometimes the internal light of someone else. But we are unable to connect to our values, to the soul that exists within us, really. To see the road, the path that we took, and how we overcome situation in various ways. Acknowledge that. Acknowledge that and tap on your shoulder with pride that you have made it and you succeeded and you achieved. How can you or how can we see how important and valuable we are, right? If we only understand that what you're doing in this moment is so important. If we will only understand that what we are doing now, it's so important. The power is in every moment. And we can see it in this slide. That in every moment of our life purpose and unique power exist. The purpose of life is not to win the game, but rather to enjoy it. We often rush into correcting and trying to fix it. You know, there's a story of this guy that was a drug addict, and he was going out and almost every evening drinking, meeting his friends, doing drugs. His mom was waiting for him every night, awake till he come back home. And every time and every evening, she used to call him, and by thinking that by this call that she will call him, maybe he will answer, he may change his ways, or he will think, oh, maybe I shouldn't take drugs. Maybe she will be able to prevent him from doing that. But every evening when she called, he disregarded the phone call. Every evening. And this happened every day, every day. Years went by, and the guy went through a process of really overcoming his addiction. He gained a profession, and actually turns his life around, and he became very successful, actually. One day, as he's in business travel, he's calling his mom, and he wanted to ask her how she's doing, and there was no answer. He called his sister, no answer. He called his aunt, there was no answer. And he was worried, and he tried to keep reaching any member of the family. And after a few calls, he got the message that actually his mom passed away. That moment that he was notified in that phone call put him back in the same call, the same moments that his mom used to call him, worrying about him. That moment, he understood those feelings that his mom had, her fear of what will happen to him. He experienced the same feeling in that moment, the same feeling that his mom felt about him. The power is in every moment. There are moments during the day that we are not paying attention to them. So she called, so the mom called, or he called. So we say, we'll talk later, right? We're ignoring the lessons, we're ignoring the messages, we're ignoring people, and sometimes we even ignore ourselves. For example, when it's come to relationship, you know, maybe the kids, the husband, the wife, screaming, it creates like tension in the house and breaking the harmony that existed a minute ago. And the reactiveness destroyed the harmony. So what we usually do? What we usually do is we immediately want to go back to the same harmony that existed before. So we do not stop and ask, just a second, what happened here? Why this was reactive behavior happened, you know? So what would we say to the kid, for example? What do you need? You want this? Okay, take it. Just want a piece of quiet. I had a really busy day at work, right? If I have a headache, I just want a pill to remove the headache. So no problem, take a pill. But at the same time, we need to understand what caused the pain. We always want to go back immediately to the peaceful moment, and without understanding what caused it, right? What has just happened? We really want magic pill and we want instant answer. Yes, we want success. We want relationship. We will settle for it, and it's okay. And we are justifying that everything is all good. Do you know when things are not okay? You know when we identify when things are not okay? Is when we are feeling this suffocation moment and we are starting to explode and may scream or get angry. Okay? What do you think? What type of situation causing us to really stop our behavior, stop what we're doing right now and feel the moment? There are situations that I call them the positive moments, right? So it's like reading a book that inspiring us, or watching a movie that inspiring us, and we're stopping for a second because it brings us reflection to our life. Vacation. Sometimes when we are on vacation, it's a positive thing. We stop and we feel the moment. We appreciate the moment we are with our kids, appreciate the moment we are having this space to acknowledge who we are. Birthdays. When we reach in the time of our birthday, sometimes 2 weeks before our birthday, we stop in for a second, we acknowledging the moment. And of course, there are the negative situation, negative times, negative moments like trauma or pain that cause us to stop and feel the moment. In the next slide, we can see that there are two main reasons we desire to quickly finish the race of life. One reason is the desire to correct every moment. We want to correct the moment. We always wanted to fix it. Okay, we do not want, we cannot like really stop and just feel it. The second reason is the lack of appreciation to the power of now in our life. Okay, it's like I always wanted to win, to overcome, you know, and just wanted to fix the situation. Okay, instead we need to understand that we're here to win. The only winning that we wanted to do is to win and overcome the opponent inside of me, instead of like really connecting to the external thing, to the external light. In the next slide, we'll see a phrase by Rav Ashlag. Rav Ashlag in World Peace, and I wanted to read from the book. In World Peace, it says, in Hebrew it says, כל דבר שישנו במציאות, יש לו זכות קיום. Okay? So it's in page 7 in World Peace, and everything in reality has the right to exist, Rav Ashlag is saying. When we don't see the moment, we are missing moments to identify our potential. So in every moment, there's a lesson, there's a message, there is presence. Everything that exists in reality, whether good or bad, including even the most evil and damage, causing things in the world, has the right to exist to the degree that destroying it and removing it completely from the world is forbidden. everything in reality has the right to exist. And the Rav Ashlag is continuing and saying, and therefore we have to understand and to take great care that we do not find fault in any part of creation, declaring to be that it will be unnecessary, because this amounts to giving a bad name, heaven forbid, to him who created it. By us judging the moment, whether it's a positive moment or a negative moment, is literally talking bad about the Creator. And more than that, we're missing the understanding that in everything in reality has the right to exist. So every moment in our life, whether we judge it as positive or negative, has a right to exist. Therefore, there is a lesson in it, there's a message in it, and there's a presence in it. So every day, every moment that pass by and we do not value it, even like walking in the street and seeing this amazing tree or flower and having like aha moment and having like, wow, this is like amazing. This is like so powerful. What a creation, what colors. This is a beautiful smell, you know? In our life journey, the whole purpose is to identify and to reveal the greatness of our soul. But it can only happen if we really paying attention to the power of now, of the moment. You know, there's a challenge that appears. It doesn't have to be a challenge. It doesn't have to be called or name a challenge. From the moment I'm waking up, we going in the street, we have interaction with people, we going through process with them. And, you know, sometimes it just pass by. And again, when we are waking up, in birthdays or holidays, you know, different situations that bring us thoughts into who I am, what have I achieved so far, what is my worth, what is my value. Sometimes we have an idea that only at the age of X I will start doing my hobbies or putting more attention into my hobbies. You know, maybe when I'll go to pension, and we always wanted to achieve that moment and that destination. And then what happened? Life passed by, and we crying for a second, or we happy because of various moments that happens in our life, but we do not stop, but we live our life like a robotic on auto machine, kind of like, right? And sometimes we feeling that we enter in life into a middle of a scene that is not really evolved yet, and we judge the scene of a movie the way it is. So Rav Ashlag is telling us that every moment, everything in reality, as I read here, everything in reality has the right to exist. And every moment has presence just for us to live now, not in the past and not with a worry for the future. And we often judge and the process, in the middle of the process, as Rav Ashlag says, it's like the fruit is not even came into a fruition. It's like it's still sour, and we judge our life. You know, so we have to remember ourselves that we're still in a journey to reveal our life, to reveal basically the light of our soul, to reveal the greatness of our soul. Okay, so this is very important to understand, that everything in reality has the right to exist. There's another a part of an article of Rav Ashlag from Wisdom of Truth that I wanted to share with you, and it's called The Unnecessary. Okay, It's called The Unnecessary, from article in page 7 in this book of Wisdom of Truth of Rav Ashlag. And it says, is this mean that nothing useful, I'm sorry, you have it like in Hebrew straight from the article, but I'll translate here from the book. This means that nothing useful will come from revealing them. Obviously, there is no damage caused in doing so. It is only a matter of being meticulous. There is not to say one should avoid unnecessary act where one say, so what? You know what it means, the unnecessary? Unnecessary is when we say, so what? About different things in our life. So what? Who cares whatever I do or not? Who cares? You should know that. So what, Rav Ashlag is saying, is considered by the sages to be the most destructive of all things, since all destructive people who exist and will ever exist fall into this category. They occupy themselves and others with unnecessary things. For this reason, sages in the past would not accept any student before they were certain that he would be scrupulous in not revealing anything unnecessary. So basically what Rav Ashlag is saying here, that whenever we say, ma bekach, so what? About so what? So what if I didn't do this? So what if, who cares if I will do it or not, as Rav Ashlag is saying. Whenever we say to ourselves, like, so what if I haven't revealed the light? So what if I haven't really pushed forward? So what? Whenever we say, so what, this is the destructive force that disconnecting us from really seeing our potential. Okay? And very important is something that Rav Berg shared with us. And the Rav is saying, and we can see it in the next slide, that the secret to receive divine inspiration is it not in wasting time. To value our time, not to waste our time, is the key to receive divine inspiration, intuition, connecting to the power and our purpose that always exists within the light. And the light exists in every moment and stage in our life. If we do not waste time, we can connect to an information that is available for me, to my soul that needs it in any given moment. Wasting time will cause me to kind of like jump moments that I could have connect to that missing part of my soul, to that missing information that my soul needs. You know, Karen once said that it's a limud from portion of Nitzavim, which is in the fifth book of the Bible. And I'll read for you just a second from this portion. And it says, כי המצווה הזו אשר אנוכי מצווך היום, לא נפלאות היא ממך ולא רחוקה היא ממך. Which means, the secrets that I am revealing to you, it says in the portion of Nitzavim, the secrets that I'm revealing to you, it's not so far away from you, it's not distant from you. And it says here, לא בשמיים, it's not in the sky, okay? ולא מעבר לים, and it's not across the ocean. כי קרוב אליך הדבר מאוד בפיך ובלבבך לעשותו. Because it's so close to you. And actually it's within you, that exists within your heart and within your mouth. Which means Karen explained on this portion for us to really connect to the energy of the now, and connecting to what we've just saw from the Rav of not wasting time. Karen says that all the secrets exist within us. When you overcome a situation, how do you see yourself? You overcome and you discover it your abilities, you discover in more and more of yourself, you see more of your qualities, lots of qualities. So as it says here in portion of Nitzavim, it says, the secrets exist within you. It's not far away, it's not in the sky, it's not across the sea, it's within each one of us. The only thing is we need to tap into it, and by tapping into it is by being in the power of now, connecting to the moment, not letting your life pass by you and not feeling, what is the lesson for me here? What's my message? What is that I need to gain? What kind of information I need to gain that can support me and help me to go further? And there is a story, or just a small lesson of regarding the power of now with a Kabbalist named the Rabbi Mikotsk. Okay, and his students came to him and asked him, what is the most important thing that he ever done in his life? And he answered them. You know what he answered them? He says, what am I doing right now in exactly this moment? It's the most important thing that I'm doing in my life. So, because now there is a revelation of light in this moment. I think we should all remember this, that everything that we do right now, even washing dishes, right now I'm revealing light. Just to support us, not to look down on ourselves. And there's a message that I want to share with us by the Rav, and I wanted to share with you a movie, a short clip, a short clip of the Rav to understand what we need to do in order to connect to the power of now.
But if you would read the billions of pages written on mind and thought, and the trillions of dollars spent on research of mind and thought, and which, unfortunately, it hasn't really developed to the point where they understand, because it's still, I believe, at the end of the article. I still only believe, because he's Orthodox, and therefore he only believes. He doesn't know. He believes. And yet, the reason they will never come to a conclusion or to come to an understanding is because they didn't ask one question. Madua. Why? Madua comes from the word yeda, which is connection. And without connection, we all know that if I don't make a contact with an individual, can I learn to understand him? No. Got to make contact. Physical, mental, whatever. Without that contact, you will never understand. And what's the contact with anything? Is madua. Therefore, to understand the next fellow, for whatever reasons, and there are many reasons and many things that we want to know about another individual, if I want to go into business with him, whether I should associate with him. If you would only ask one question, you've opened up the doors to an instant, possibly instant understanding of the next guy. And what is that? Why is contact being made between me and him? Now, that's not a difficult question to raise, because we can ask that on anything. Why? But the minute you ask why, you open up the gates. If you don't ask why, then you need 25 years and 30 years, maybe 50 years to begin to understand your best friend. And then one day he turns against you and now you don't even understand. How could he turn against me after all these years for whatever reasons he shouldn't have done it?
Asking why. Just ask why. This is what the Rav really suggested for each one of us, that everything that happened to us, we need to ask why. Because there's something there that probably we need to do, or just to get an answer or clarification, some sort of clarity, just to ask why. Something that came to me that I wanted to share with you is that while I was listening to the Rav with you, is that whenever we recognize good in others, it will help us also to see good within ourselves. Just another tip. So for now, after we went through our session, I wanted to go with you together and to have some sort of an interesting meditation that will connect us even more, not just to the power of one and the power of now and the power of who we are, okay? To connect us more into the power of who we are with the help of everything that we have learned so far. I wanted to direct you with 3 questions before we start our meditations. The first question that I want to give you some time to write down to yourself the answers and to go through this, because it will really bring us into the meditation. So the first question is, where in your life are you missing out or ignoring the little details? Take a moment to write down for yourself. Where in your life are you missing out or ignoring the little details? The second question is, if you were to pay more attention to the details, how would that affect your life? If you were to pay attention to the details, how would that affect your life? Go ahead and write down for yourself. The third question is, think about one thing that you are going to enjoy in the process of your life, instead of just wanting to solve or end the problem. Think about one thing that you are going to enjoy in the process of your life, instead of just wanting to solve or end the problem, like we always do. So take a moment, read again, write down to yourself as much as possible the answers to those 3 questions before we're starting our meditation. For me, as I'm looking at these questions again and thinking about moments in my life that, we're missing out or ignoring, and especially one thing that I really wanted to really enjoy in the process of my life is being a mother, right? Being a mother for me, it's like to enjoy every moment with my daughter. Enjoy every moment in my development and my involvement and my finding what else can I do and what else can I reveal. Okay, so now let's go to the next slide, where I wanted to use one of the 72 names of God, and so powerful, those 72 names. And this is number 39 out of the 72. It's Resh Hei Ayin. As you all familiar with the description, is diamond in the rough, which means it's like when we refer to a diamond, and I'm always using a diamond as an example, like when we want to reveal the diamond within. So like how diamonds are being revealed in the world, starting as a coal, and it's just like when they really like scrap it and then like removing the darkness from it, or the dark color, and they start to shine a little bit with every scrap. So this is how the journey in our life, every process that we go through our life, you can call it a challenge or a situation, we're moving another layer, and our soul is shining to us, and we're finding more about ourselves, and we find in our greatness. And when we relate to the 4 phases where I started at the beginning of the session, revealing our greatness relate to the first phase. When we understand that our desire is not real, but we're connected, then it's the seed level. It's the time that our soul and the Creator are one. And we want to go back to that stage where we were one. We knew who we are. We knew what we were coming here to the world to reveal. So within that, I wanted to start the meditation, and it will be a short meditation, but together with the question I've asked you, you are welcome to close your eyes. And the reason we're closing our eyes is just to be focusing in oneself. If you feel comfortable to leave your eyes open, it's okay. Just let's sit comfortably on the chair. And let's take 3 deep breaths. By us breathing, inhaling, exhaling, we are entering the light as it presented as the air into our body, relaxing our body, relaxing the muscles, relaxing ourselves after a long day that we went through X and Y. Breathe. As we see the letters of Resh Hey Ayin that are here to support us, to reveal the diamond within and connect to the greatness of our soul, understanding the moment. We see ourselves running. Just start to run. We start in a slow pace, then we increasing the pace, then we running fast. And as we run, we see pictures of the streets, of the buildings, of cars. If we're running in the street, if we're running on the trail, we see whether the valley, the mountain, we see trees passing. We're running fast, and it's kind of like a movie. All those pictures moving. If we're running in the sea, just see everything passing so fast. And we're running, and we're running, and we do not pay attention to anything. Everything's so moving so fast. The only thing we see lines and lines and lines, just lines of images, but we don't really see because we do not pay attention. We run, we increase in the pace. We increase in the pace. Everything is passing by us like so fast. We want to slow down. We're starting to slow down the pace. And as we slow down the pace, we're starting to feel our body, each part of our body, starting to feel our feet on the ground. We're slowing down a little bit. As we slow down, we continue in feeling the breeze of the wind on my face, feeling the sun really hugging us with the warmth of the sun. Stopping, we opening our eyes, and we see whether the ocean, whether the nature, there are streets. We open our eyes and we see all of it in front of us. the enormous amount of power that coming from the tree. This building, that the brick, the way it has been built, the flowers, the plants, the ocean, so huge, the ocean, the power, filling ourselves with sense of all our senses. We feel it. We're in awe of what the Creator has created. Every difficulty that we may come to us in our thought right now versus the power of the creation that we view in now, we smell the beautiful smell of the ocean, the grass, the plants, the air, the vision, clarity that comes to me about the way that we have been going through in our life. And every time, with every vision that comes to me about my life, how we overcome it, how we successfully overcome it, we connect the dots, we feel something. I'm looking down on the earth and I see something is shining. I'm bending and I'm picking it up, opening my hand, and I see the diamond shining in my hand. It's me. It's my inner qualities that are shining to me after a long process, a long climb, a long run, but so enjoyable. Such an enjoyable way that we went through in our life. There's so many beautiful things. There's so many amazing diamonds. I feel in awe. I feel appreciation. I feel love in places I haven't expected. I feel even light-weighted, right? My hands are full of diamonds shining from within me and around me and surrounding me. And all of it is like taking away all the darkest feeling, the worries, the darkest thought, and the letters of Resh Hei Ayin surrounding me, hugging me. And I'm seeing the beauty. I see clarity, I see the power, I see that we're all protected. You feeling good? Because you see it. You see your power. You value yourself. You love the process. And we are asking from the Creator the power to see and value each process I'm going through in my life. Resh Hei Ayin. Beautiful three angels that come in and helping each one of us when we just say this name. You're welcome to open your eyes as I'm count to 3. Breathe deep. 3, 2, and 1. Remember that everything that exists in reality has the right to exist. You have the right to exist. You're valuable, you're powerful. And a Kabbalistic tool that really helps us to connect to this is to connect to the power of the moment. the power of now. Not to let your life pass by you. Appreciate the lesson, the message, and identify your qualities. And in every given moment, every given time that you remember, ask why. Why this thing happened? For the best, for the better, and for the worst, right? Why this thing happened? What can I learn from it? How can this information that presented to me today can reveal information that can allow my soul to shine even stronger in this lifetime? Remember that you are so powerful. You have the ability to conquer, create, and manifest anything that you wish for. You are great, and connect to your greatness. Connect to the power of now. Thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful rest of the week.